It's no secret that Cyberpunk 2077 has pulled off maybe the greatest comeback in gaming history. But what you're about to see is just proof that Cyberpunk can never truly be enough. The recent 2.3 update dropped, adding free content like new vehicles, quests, an auto drive feature, and a few other things, and yet the reaction has kind of shocked me, to be honest. Me of all people was massively disappointed with this game for a while, and still don't think it's perfect. But probably like you, over time I've began to appreciate it for what it actually is. And I've also admired how CD Projekt Red has turned things around. While early criticisms pointed out the city feeling shallow, years of updates, including the recent 2.3 patch, has added features like the taxi service and auto drive, which now let you soak in the sights as you drive around. And what we have now is a world that has become more immersive over time, and a game that seriously feels endless to play, especially with the addition of Phantom Liberty. But instead, the ever-growing wave of hate across social media is really hard to ignore. And the first thing I did want to dismantle is the countless requests for third-person mode. And yes, I do agree that it would improve the gameplay even more, but as I'm sure you know, these comments don't realise how flawed and unrealistic these requests actually are. CD Projekt Red has actually responded to these requests and made very clear they have no such plans to add it. The entire game, from combat to cinematic conversations, was built from the ground up to be a 100% first-person experience for the sake of immersion. And most of us understand that a third-person camera isn't like flicking a switch. It would require a massive overhaul, and developers would need to create an entirely new set of character animations for actions that were never meant to be seen from the outside perspective. And changing the camera would completely mess this up. And a great example of this is seeing gameplay of the third-person mod. If you haven't seen this before, I mean, take a look. It might look okay on the surface, but for simple actions like getting in your car or even just running around with a weapon, very quickly, it's easy to spot how demented it begins to look. And I think me and you both would prefer just to play first-person over playing as a Hunchback of Notre Dame hybrid. Yet these comments just seem to completely miss the reasoning why it just can't be added. But just before we continue unpicking more of these comments, I've been playing this mobile game called One State lately, and honestly, it surprised me. It's a full-on open world roleplay game with 500 plus real players in a single session, and you can do whatever, be a cop, gang boss, taxi driver, shop owner, or just cruise around causing chaos, with the total freedom to live out your own story. And there's full-on voice chat, player-run businesses, clans fighting over turf, cops raiding gang hideouts, and it just feels entirely player controlled, which is so important, and it makes you feel really immersed. You can mod your cars, customize your apartment, and the level of detail is kind of mad for something running on your damn phone, for Pete's sakes. And if you are into that real life sim feel in a massive open world, it's 100% worth checking out. Wednesday even just dropped a new referral system where if you invite your friends, you both get rewarded. Use my referral code L321 when you join, and once you hit level 8, you'll even get $60,000 in-game cash. Just scan the QR code or hit the link in the description to get started, and check out onestate.com for daily bonuses and exclusive offers. Now back to the video. Then you read comments asking for more cyberware, enhanced wardrobe, more gloves, heels, fishnets, baggy t-shirts, console mod support, and even red kit. And don't get me wrong, I'd love to have some of these features too, but Christ alive, this guy may as well ask for a winning lottery ticket too. The game is now 6 years old and was supposed to discontinue updates a while ago, and it's also a tad unrealistic. Unlike games from developers like Bethesda, which are built on engines designed to be more accommodating to modding, CDPR's Red engine is more challenging to work with. And let's be real here, with some of the freaky ass mods you see on the PC, 90% of them will end up getting cut. While official mod tools for PC do exist, bringing a stable mod system to consoles would require require a significant investment of resources that CDPR has likely allocated to more important things like the sequel. And next is the countless requests for New Game Plus. And to be honest, I do kind of understand the frustration. New Game Plus is almost becoming a standard feature in all games now, and this game would massively benefit from it. However, I uncovered some pretty interesting details you don't often hear about. According to Quest director Paul Sasko, Christ that was butchered, he essentially said it isn't a simple copy and paste of a finished character into a new story. A high-level V, fully equipped with late-game cyberware like double jump or gorilla arms, could break the game's early quests and narrative progression. And how would the game handle early skill checks if your attributes are already maxed out? And how would that rebalance the story of a struggling street kid when you're already walking around as a cyber psycho? And developers have actually stated that the game was designed to be replayed from scratch, encouraging players to try different life paths, builds, and choices for a varied experience. Implementing New Game Plus would actually require a complete rebalancing of the entire game, and it's actually a task so complex it was deemed unfeasible. And I'll be honest, I was kind of surprised when I researched this, and it does make total sense now of how it's not just a simple addition. But it's nuts how much hate CD Projekt Red are getting for it, and the list also extends to countless requests for a dedicated PS5 Pro patch. Fans hoped a graphical update would take advantage of the new console's power, but CDPR has confirmed they have no plans for such a patch. While the recent 2.3 update did add variable refresh rate support that boosts performance on the Pro, from the looks of it, this is likely as good as it will get, and the bulk of their developers are now working on future games, including the sequel to Cyberpunk and also the next Witcher trilogy. And crucially, all future games will be built on Unreal Engine 5, as the company is now retiring its in-house Red engine. And I do kind of feel bad for PS Pro users, especially with how much you guys have actually spent on the damn console, for Pete's sakes. And this is the request I probably agree with the most, as a patch for this isn't as demanding as the other things other people are requesting. But then you read comments like, "This is a shitty woke update, fuck you." And it took me a while to decrypt this goblin's message, as I wasn't really sure how an update mainly focusing on vehicles could ever be classed as woke. But I can only assume he's referring to Cyberpunk's marketing, which has now started using a female version of V for quite a while. But I don't know about you, but I couldn't give a royal dick about what version of V they use for their posters, and it feels just so unnecessary. There are even comments saying how female V is starting to look more deformed with every update, and to be fair, this thing is pretty fuck ugly, but at the same time, is it really a big deal if a piece of marketing showcases one ugly ass munter of a character? As long as it doesn't look like this in game, I couldn't give a toss. And probably the saddest thing of all, you have various comments saying how the update in general is disappointing and not even worth releasing. And I do get that a lot of people, including myself, and probably you too, want things like third person mode. But for people to say this free update is shit and just disappointing, just feels a bit harsh, to be honest. It's free at the end of the day, and the game wasn't even supposed to get any more updates. Shitting on developers for giving us free updates when various other games have gotten barely any years later just doesn't sit right, at least for me anyway, and I'm sure you're probably in the same boat. Cyberpunk is no longer a game haunted by its potential. It is a game that for the most part has achieved it, but the increasing criticism for not adding particular features despite endless free updates just proves no matter how good a redemption is, you can never truly win. But that's just my thoughts on it. After the surprise 2.3 update and all the work CDPR has put into it, do you think the continued criticism is fair? Let me know your honest thoughts in the comment section down below, and if you did enjoy this video, maybe consider subscribing. And to watch the breakdown of a game developer who actually does deserve this level of hate due to their uncontrollable greed, click the video on screen. You definitely don't want to miss this. Thank you guys for watching as always, and I'll see you next time.